Assalamualaikum and welcome to my sharing session on the art of visionary leadership. I am Hussein Osman, author Mahadev, the art of political leadership. This video presentation is series 5 of 10 series in part 1 that based on chapter 2 of my book. In this series, I will be discuss the topic Mahadev and leadership problems, the content extracted from his memoirs, A Doctor in the House. Before Mahadev, 4 great leaders of Malaysia had already left their marks on the history of the nation. 3 of them are highly cherished as the former statesmen and conferred with the highest respected titles. The first Prime Minister, Tun Dr Mahathir, is the father of independence. The second Prime Minister, Tun Dr, the father of development, and the third Prime Minister, Tun Hussein On, the father of unity. These 3 great leaders are well known for their position as the Prime Minister and President of UMNO, the ruling party. Behind their success stories, there is another great leader who played a more important role in founding the nation's struggle for freedom from the British colonial plan of the Malayan Union. He is Datuk On Jaafar, the founding father of the Malay struggle and their revered party UMNO. Mahathir wrote on Datuk On Jaafar leadership. Datuk On Jaafar was a central figure in this glorious struggle. He was the first Malay leader to be accepted by all the Malays of the peninsula. It was no mean achievement for the Malays in those days, for the Malays in those days felt greater loyalty to their states and their rulers than their race. This is the greatest achievement of Datuk On, apart of course from his success in preventing the British from expropriating the land of the Malays as they did the land of the Palestinians. The contribution of these 4 great leaders are well known throughout the history of Malaysia. They had their success stories as well as failures. Each had been facing the problems and managed to survive to continue their struggle for the country. But as far as history has told, none of them had been showing greater inclination to use the problems as the base for political leadership learning more than Mahathir. This conclusion might be overstated, but on Mahathir we have abundant evidence to prove. Compared to his predecessors, Mahathir is exceptional in many ways. Studies on his political career and leadership pointed towards his experience of dealing with many nations' pressing problems. He triumphed and survived to tell us his side of stories and share some memorable experience. Often his success stories admired because of the result achieved, not on the nature of the problems he faced and the unique approach he applied in dealing with them. People are celebrating his accomplishment and keep repeating them in tributes, praises, and comfort him with respected titles such as the father of modernization, a visionary leader, and a great statesman. Very few would like to examine the problems and challenges confronted by Mahathir and his unique approach in dealing with them. This book, Mahathir, the Art of Political Leadership, is intended to explore further Mahathir's unique application of problem-based leadership learning along with his political career since the beginning until he was appointed as the 7th Prime Minister in 2018 and later resigned from the post in February 2020. I have conducted a thorough analysis of his major works and other sources. For his leadership experience from 1958 to 2018, I have analyzed 2 most important sources. First is his memoir, A Doctor in the House, and his blog, Check That, a weblog. For the period between May 2018 to March 2020, I have analyzed hundreds of media reports and speeches. The discussion includes the content analysis of the leadership problems, the leadership themes, and some selected problems triggers for further application of the problem-based leadership learning. A Doctor in the House is written as a memoir rather than an autobiography. The chapters are not organized in a proper chronological arrangement. The main feature of a memoir takes into consideration the most important and the most memorable event of a person. The arrangement of the chapters represents the author's determination to value the most memorable event in his life. The first chapter, Becoming Prime Minister, represents Mahathir's most memorable event. In the chapter, he dramatically described how he was invited by the court chamberlain to walk up to the king and receive the official document for oath taking. After reciting the oaths, he signed them and were countersigned by the acting Lord President. The moment represented a sharp demarcation between his old life and the new one. This account is noteworthy since Mahathir attempted to connect this memorable event to his life experience as the highest leader and the most important man in the country. He wanted to replicate this proud moment in a memoir and motivate himself and the readers. Mahathir had also intended to remind readers about the main purpose of his writing of the memoir. He wrote, "This is the story of Malaysia as I see it. This is my story. I have written about the wisdom of our founding fathers who crafted a political system that has enabled the country to democratically and peacefully resolve the problems and challenges inherent in a complex society. These memoirs must naturally contain a focus on my role, but essentially it is about my beloved Malaysia, a country which has given me, indeed, all Malaysians, a good life." Mahathir appears to emulate the wisdom of the Malay classical authors in the past who considered writing as a part of educational purposes. They always remind the readers of these essential purposes in the first page of the text, such as, "This history is written at the request of the Sultan so-and-so, so that it may be known by all our descendants who come after us, that they may be conscious of it and therefrom derive benefits." After the description of the most memorable moment, walking into the sworn-in ceremony as the first Prime Minister, Mahathir memoirs stretch back to his childhood memories, and from there on he continued to share the best of his recollection until his retirement. The memoir contains 62 chapters and over 800 pages. Speed readers might be able to complete the reading faster, but there are too many aspects of the content that need to be thoroughly examined so that we could learn his leadership skills properly and comprehensively. Extensive reading is certainly required. To facilitate the reading and learning of his leadership skills, based on his memoir, I have divided the whole content into 9 parts as shown here. Chapter 1 stands on its own as the title, Becoming the First Prime Minister. Chapters 2 to 4 are about his childhood memories and Malay identity. Chapters 5 to 9 are about his early political awareness. Chapters 10 to 19 are about leadership learning. Chapters 20 to 26 are about climbing the leadership ladder. Chapters 27 to 58 are about the moments of the first Prime Minister. Chapter 59 is about the memory of him stepping down from the post. Chapters 60 to 61 are about some unfinished business related to his intention to make the changes. And finally, chapter 62 about the final reflection of his life experience as a political leader. My analysis of this memoir discovered many issues and leadership problems represent the main themes of Mahathir's leadership learning process. These are among the most valuable correction for us to learn further. From there on, we could be able to train young leaders on how to be a good leader through modeling the art of Mahathir's leadership. A thorough analysis of these 9 parts displays at least 19 specific leadership learning themes scattered all over chapters. They are vision of leadership, mentorship, professional ethics, leaders' personal development, conflict resolution, creativity and innovation, politics, nationalism, history, colonialism, economy, trade and commerce, social development, ethnic relation, Malay monarchy, international relation, public administration and policy, educational development, law and constitution, and Islam and Muslims. Further analysis of these 19 themes indicates the interconnection between them, and the final analysis had rearranged some of the themes and reduced from 19 to only 9. One is leadership learning, politics, economy, ethnicity, international relation, public administration and policy, education, laws and constitution, and finally Islam and Muslims. The statistical analysis discovered the themes related to the leadership learning as the highest frequency, which is 52%, politics 19%, economy 8%, ethnicity 7%, international relation 5%, public administration and policy 4%, education 2%, laws and constitution 2%, and Islam and Muslims 1%. People say numbers never lie. The result of this analysis has everything to show us about Mahathir's memoir, A Doctor in the House. The book is resourceful and valuable for studying the art of Mahathir political leadership. I have conducted the problem-based analysis and developed the learning simulation using a specific diagnostic approach called a Factila on some selected themes of Mahathir memoir. The discussion are presented in chapter 4, 5, 6 and 7 of my books, Mahathir, the Art of Political Leadership. Again, I would strongly recommend you to get a copy of the book and to learn more about the application of Mahathir's problem-based approach that based on his memoir, A Doctor in the House. To get the copy of the book and further information on our leadership training program, please click the links in the description below. To get the notification of my next video, please subscribe, like and share this channel. Till then, thank you and have a great day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.